the new and deadly street drug.
This is so new that even the doctors don't know. Poison control centres, they haven't even had time to collaborate the information.
We've had 2 cases this past week that have occurred in Arizona. And as far as I know, this is the first cases in the United States that are reported. We're extremely frightened.
There's a total of 5 this year, 2013, none last year.
Because of its effect on the skin, it's called Krokodil.
Green, scaly skin.
Essentially homemade heroin.
Average lifespan from claim to use is 2 years in Russia.
Unbelievable. Some Americans, point the finger at Mexico. Oh, you're the drug capital. Well, guess what? America, we are the #1 drug consumer. #1 consumer of illegal drugs. There wouldn't be drug cartels if we Americans weren't buying what they were selling. And now, just when we thought it couldn't get any worse, deadly drug. A gross drug has come down the pike. These are very disturbing images from YouTube that show the effects of this drug that's hit the United States from Russia this time. And I got to warn you, it's graphic, but you got to check it out. It's called Krokodil, Krokodil, because it makes your skin green and scaly and literally eats your flesh. Doctors warn, if you want to kill yourself, this will do the trick. And it only takes about 2 painful years for you to really just go from totally healthy to a dead crocodile with a K.
Very frightening. Almost immediately it goes in. It starts to destroy blood cells and blood vessels. So it literally causes gangrene from the inside of the body coming out.
Yeah, and it's a heroin knockoff, but it's more potent than heroin and cheaper because it's made out of these toxic ingredients: gasoline, lighter fluid, and industrial cleaners. Now, cases have been popping up in Arizona, Utah, Illinois. HLN law enforcement analyst Mike Brooks, given that the substances are legal, like lighter fluid and gasoline, how are we going to wage war on this?
Yeah, hydrochloric acid, red phosphorus, that's why it eats you from the inside out. But if they're starting to see this coming from other countries, the DEA needs to make this, a priority on if it is coming from other countries and if they have intel about where it's coming from, trying to stop it and head it off before it comes into the United States.
Yeah, and, often the people who are cooking this stuff up, they're not taking it because, first of all, they'd be dead and they can see the effects. Oh, no, let's give it to Americans. And we've got to learn to say, no, you keep it.
Thank you.
This week, it's Krokodil. A couple of weeks ago, it was Molly. The pure powder form of MDMA, the main chemical in ecstasy. Molly's been linked to 4 deaths this summer alone. I think they canceled a concert because people were ODing. I got to rant about this because this cause is very important to me as a recovering alcoholic with 18 years of sobriety. We're an addict nation. I wrote a book by that title, Addict Nation. We need to look at why we're so obsessed with escaping and using and stuffing our feelings. There's got to be something seriously wrong here. Former prosecutor Kelly Sandin, so much of we talk about government spending, government crisis. Drugs is a big part of that. It's part of the prison system. It's part of the judicial system. And at the root, it's just people who are doing anything, even risking turning into a scaly monster in order to escape.
You're right. I mean, it's a very scary trend. The problem is, and the laws are now cracking down more on drugs. I mean, now the mandatory minimum, federal sentencing guidelines for people caught with drugs with the intent to distribute is more than like rape, manslaughter. I mean, the mandatory time. The problem is that it is pervasive. It's everywhere, and it is regular ingredients that people can get. If you recall, years ago now, they took cold medications, and you have to give an ID to try to stop people from buying over the counter and manufacturing this. And so I'm wondering if the question that you posed to Mike, if one of the answers is, unfortunately, to now make people log who's buying this stuff.
I absolutely agree, because I don't think we can lock up everybody who's selling drugs. I mean, we've got more people in prison than any other country in the world right now, and a lot of it is because of the drug laws. And, a lot of people, it's really about supply and demand. I mean, it's really about to get root of why there are so many addicts in this country. And that's why I wrote the book, Addict Nation. If you are struggling with an addiction of any kind, I'm talking alcohol, drugs, food, okay? You don't need to spend a dime to get help. There are 12-step programs, and I'm going to give you links. Go to my webpage, go to my J. Velez-Mitchell Facebook page, check it out. Literally, with the click of a mouse, you can get help for any addiction problem you have. But the point is, we could lock up the entire country. This problem, I think, goes deeper than that. And remember, more people are ODing from legal prescription drugs than they are from illegal drugs now. Legal drugs, overdoses from legal drugs are now the leading cause of death in some states. And so it's overtaking car accidents in some states. So there's plenty of people who aren't going to jail or prison because they're middle-class professionals who are using pills to get high. We got to do something about this. And I think we got to look at why are we trying to escape so much? What is wrong with our culture that we've become an addict nation?